Alt-art Pokemon cards are some of the most sought-after collectibles in the modern era, and their values have absolutely skyrocketed. But in this topsy-turvy market, are they still a good investment, or is buying them a huge mistake? Let's look at the numbers. Welcome back to Rob Does Pokemon, my friends. I hope you are doing well. We're going to talk about alt-art cards today because I have been getting a ton of messages about alt-art cards. What's the ROI going to be on the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies? What's Charizard's PSA 10 population going to be? Is that going to make an impact on the values of it? And is Gengar overvalued? Like all of this stuff, guys. And it's pretty clear to me that a lot of people know what they're doing, but a great many people have absolutely no idea. They just see the line going straight up on TCG Player, and they think it's shiny, it's good. What could possibly go wrong? I'm just going to pull the trigger, and then they kind of get that regret. And then a lot of you guys come to me to ask for some reassurance. So I'm going to show you in this video today how to understand these as investments, what you should be looking for with a really big deep dive. I will show you some cards I think are undervalued in the Sword and Shield alternate art block. And I'll give you my honest picks on what you should actually be doing with your money right now, whether it's alternate art cards or whether it's something else in the Pokemon space. So let me just switch over my screen shares here. Let's start off, guys, by understanding these as investment vehicles. So I'm on this website here. It's called Zard Hunt. I came across it a little while ago. It's nice because it gives you the total number of all of these things. So I am focusing just on Sword and Shield, okay? And in Sword and Shield, 87 alternate art cards, including promos and including the holiday sets. I am just focusing on the main expansions. No Pokemon Go, no Evolutions boxes, and no Crown Zenith. We'll do Crown Zenith in another video, I think. Crown Zenith is kind of its own beast. So when it comes to understanding these guys, TCG Science has a great dashboard, not sponsored in any way. He lets me use his stuff for free, which is really cool, but this gives you all the essential information you need in one place. And there are some really key factors here you want to look at before pulling the trigger on a card. You want as much information as possible before you guys make a speculative play in this market, because it can end very well or it can end very badly. Always remember, investments can go one of three ways. They can go up, they can go down, and they can go sideways. And sideways is sometimes worse because of the lost opportunity that you could have invested in if you're still holding it for all that time. Now, first thing we want to look at is pull rate data, okay? The harder a card is to pull, generally, the more sought after it is going to be because of that chase. Let's face it, guys, Pokemon fans are gluttons for punishment. You want to be able to tell the story that you finally opened that Charizard after a million packs of ripping, and it was so terrible, but you finally did it. That's why people tune into these pack openings. They want to see the pain. They want to see the payoff. This card is very hard to pull, guys. 1 in 1,700 packs and counting. Like, it's a really, really tough card to pull, and that's just how it goes on this one. The next thing you want to look at, guys, is you want to start to follow the money. Okay, because for better or for worse, the money rules the hobby. I mean, that's very, very clear. I mean, gorgeous artworks, playing on nostalgia, playing on the marketing, and the money flows in. And that's why so many people are here. That's why we're in this crazy, crazy bull market. So the raw price on this card right now, $1,700 and counting. The PSA 10 price, and we're focusing just on PSA 10. I know there are other grading companies out there, is $2,666. 666. There we go on that one. So look at this. Graded profit, 48%. When you buy this card in raw and grade it with PSA, you are looking at a 48% profit, which is around $1,000 almost on this one, right? You're just shy of $1,000 on this. It's also very easy to grade. 73% of these cards, and you can see this here, realistic graded profit. Sorry, gem rate, grading, 74%. You can see, guys, this is a very easy card to grade. So you're gambling at the casino, but you know you have a 74% chance of winning, and you can increase your odds by getting good at pre-grading. That's what people do. And oftentimes in this space, I see people talk about investing, and that's not wrong, as just the set it, forget it. You buy a product, you hold it for a long time, you sell it, and that's good. That's easy. You can do that. I do that an awful lot. But there are other ways to make money. There's rip and ships, there's owning stores, there's all this other stuff. The other two primary ones that I think people overlook often is, first and foremost, you can buy stuff at 70% market value and can sell it on, like vendors do. Or you can do this graded thing, okay? And the graded profits right now, guys, that's what's driving the values to go so insane on many of these cards. We're stepping out of Sword and Shield into Scarlet and Violet very quickly. But look, the Magikarp, the graded profit on that card is 417%. It's a gorgeous artwork, but that's why it's going up so much, is because people are buying and buying and buying and pre-grading, and they're trying to get that 10 and that massive payoff on the graded profit. That's just what happens. So, guys, you have to follow the money. Now, one thing that is kind of the main dichotomy in Pokemon investing right now, and this applies to the alt-art specifically, is PSA populations. I'm sure you've heard the argument. No one's ever going to want this. Junk friggin' wax. Like, there's 20,000 and counting of this. Like, they're grading 1,200 of these every single month. Like, Who is going to want to own these products? That's the argument, guys. And I used to be kind of somewhere in the middle on this, and now I'm firmly on the other side. I will tell you that quite honestly. So the more time I spend in this space, the more time, I seem to do very well in this space, doing very little and following advice of other people and learning myself, the more I start to realize that actually, I don't think the population count really seems to matter one hoot. Okay, guys, I don't think it really seems to matter one hoot. We've got the huge volumes that we see at an anime expo, at a convention center. Like Anime Expo is like 400,000 people just in LA. Like Collecticon, I think, is over 100,000 people. I watch these vendor POV videos. These freaking halls, these massive arenas are stacked with people. Now, does every single one of those people want an Umbreon VMAX or a Charizard? Maybe, maybe not. But look at the influencer space, guys. Look at the influencer space. I mean, me. Oh, and I got to do this, guys. I got to do this. Hey, Vegeta, what does Rob's sub count say?
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
Guys, I actually did hit 9,000 subs yesterday, so I really, really do appreciate you guys sticking with me, following the channel as I try new things. And if you made it this far and you haven't subscribed to this video, you are now legally obligated to do so. So subscribe, like, and leave a comment letting me know you did that. Otherwise, my lawyers will be in touch. But guys, I'm a small fish. I got 9,000 subs now. If every single one of you guys went and tried to buy an Umbreon VMAX, what would that do to the market? There's not a whole lot left in the PSA 10 to go around. So please bear that in mind. I think that the supply and demand ratio is really out of whack right now on Pokemon. That's very fair to say. And as long as that holds true, the values will continue to go up. But there is a story here, guys, on the All-Talk cards. What's happened with them over the last year? So the Giratina chart really exemplifies what's happened here. And this is all about understanding the investments, okay? Before I give you guys some picks on what I think might be good plays. So this Giratina card was going for $260 basically a year ago. Okay, guys, we're just at the start of March when I'm recording this video. It went crazy because there was this huge alt-art boom around tax time. It jumped up to $480. And then there was a correction, a crash, whatever you guys want to call it. It came down substantially. I mean, if I was holding this card at $476 and it went down to $354, I would not be very happy at all. And that's over the space of like 3 or 4 months. Obviously, we're in this crazy bull market. Everything is up, right? You look on TCG Player, every line, it's pretty much going straight up. I covered this, guys. There was about like $5-6 million wiped out just in the top 5 of the All-Talk cards. There was a big crash on some of these cards. It wasn't nice for some people. And it's interesting because right now, while the lines are going up, I actually ran the numbers here on the median total percentage gain for the entire index. So if you call all the main expansion All-Tarts like an S&P 500, we're up 74% on the year, an absolutely staggering gain. But something I was surprised about here is when I went through all of these sets, and I'm going to start scrolling down now, the majority of the All-Talk cards hadn't recovered from their previous all-time highs in tax season last year. And I was really surprised about this. I was looking to see, like, where are some gems? Where is there some hidden value? The top guys, your Umbreons and your Gengars and your Giratinas, their Google search volume is still off the charts. It continues to climb up. Like, they're still incredibly sought after cards. They are some of the most liquid cards as well that you guys can find. And here's some more analysis. So Giratina, we got a graded profit of 115%. This is why they're so sought after. This is why people are looking at this thing, right? You can make a lot of money flipping this card over very quickly, right? It's a very hard card to pull still. Not as hard as Umbreon VMAX. It's a more difficult card to grade, but this is the stuff that you got to look at when you are following the money. Then you got Gengar VMAX, my favorite card. I own this card in a 10 as well. And this one here, graded profit 82%. They're grading 1,200 of these every month. It doesn't friggin' matter. The values just continue to rock and roll and go up. And it's a fairly easy card to grade at 60%. And here's the Gengar chart. Did the same thing pretty much as the Giratina, pumped up, came down, and now we're in this crazy bull market that is happening right now as well. The final card I'll look at in a detailed kind of analysis for like top 4, top 5 is the Rayquaza VMAX. And the reason I want to bring this up is because it is not getting graded anywhere near as much, like half as much, guys, as the Gengar, as the Giratina, as the Umbreon VMAX. And the reason is its graded profit is only 29%. It's more of a risk. Okay, it's still an easy card to grade, 73%. But if you've spent $751 and you get back a 9, I mean, it's a wash basically, like for your time, right? So you've got to be sure that these graded profits are going to be big. And actually, Rayquaza is one I would look at to see if that 10 differential starts to expand a little bit. But it's not all about the money, guys, it is not all about the money. I think when you look at these as investments, collectibles, these aren't tickers on a New York Stock Exchange, guys. These aren't companies that have profit and loss reports and all that kind of stuff. And you can't get into that. There's an emotional component here as well. And with these cards, what's often overlooked is how special they are and what a special moment in time these cards mark. They came out during COVID. This was a time when the world had gone completely friggin' mad. People were losing their jobs. People were sick. People were dying. People thought the world was ending. And people rediscovered Pokemon cards as an escape. And this is what they were ripping. They were restoring their childhood faith in the things they loved. They were escaping from these horrible, horrible things happening in the world. And that is one of the reasons these cards will be so well loved in the future, is because of what they did and what they gave to people in the long run. That being said, guys, we got to look at things that are still undervalued here, okay? Like going and buying an Umbreon VMAX. Is it going to go up over time? Probably. It's Umbreon. Like, it's the most iconic card of the friggin' modern era, if not all of Pokemon. But let's look at some of these cards that haven't beaten their all-time highs. Let's look at what that actually means, okay? Look at the Arceus here. It's nowhere near. This chart looks all skew-whiff. We're in a bull market, but it hasn't gone back to the price it was at when it was May, okay? Look at the Noivern, I don't know how you guys say that, but another one. Hasn't got anywhere near its all-time highs again from Evolving Skies as well. And that's a gorgeous card. Luminion. It's a small one, value-wise, but it's nowhere near. And if you look at these illustration rares getting pumped up right now, there is every chance people turn their attention and look, oh, hey, here's Luminion. It's an All-Star card. We got to start pumping that one. Like, I think that's really the world in which that happens. You got Beedrill V, too. Here's a little Beedrill V action. This one still hasn't got back to its all-time high. So if you were holding this card since May, you're probably like, hey, when's the old Beedrill going to get back above $50 here, guys? Like, I got to make some money back. So here's some cards I think that could be good plays, that are undervalued, I think, that are more kind of fan favorite Pokemon, or kind of getting into that A-tier Pokemon side of things. The first one is Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is on a steep uptick here, but it is still not quite at its all-time high on near min. Okay, so this card here, it's climbing. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. In Lost Abyss, it's even better with the texturing in Japanese, but it's a cool card. If we break down its card report here, guys, and hopefully I'm giving you the tools to be able to do this for yourself here, right? So you don't have to use TCG Science. You can find this information on PSA's population reports, on price charting on TCG for yourself. It's all here in front of me. So it's just as hard to pull as Giratina. Its graded profit is 1% more, and these numbers actually didn't pull correctly on the dashboard here, but if you look at it, it's a very hard card to grade by modern standards, and its PSA 10 population is actually only 3,579. By modern standards, by some of the numbers you've been seeing for one of the main chasers in the set, that is really difficult. I remember a PokeRev video where he went and just didn't pull this card. So Aerodactyl is one to look at, guys. Then we've got the Machamp. Okay, Machamp from Astral Radiance. Astral Radiance, at the time of recording this video, is still in stock on PokemonCenter.com. You can still get Build and Battles. I believe there's another product that's still in stock as well. But again, this card hasn't recovered from its all-time high in the early summer. And when we look at the numbers on this one, guys, the graded profit is 105%. It's a good card to grade. It's fairly easy to grade at 58%. And its total population is only 6,000. And look, they're not grading many of these every month. People are overlooking this card. And hey, Machamp's definitely overlooking leg day as he's on his way to the gym. For sure, he's going to do his biceps again after his picnic. But this is what I mean, guys. This is the kind of stuff I think you should be looking at and doing your best guesses. Espeon VMAX from Fusion Strike, another one I think is undervalued. It hasn't gotten back to its all-time highs. And when we look at this card again, and it's half as much as the Gengar being graded every month, half as much as the Moonbryon. Its total pop's 12,000. It's not as high as the other cards, and there's a good chunk of graded profit for a card which is relatively easy to grade. So follow the money on this one, guys. That is what I am going to tell you to do. Now, should you guys be investing in these? Are they actually a good investment? The old Google search, and the first thing that comes up is, does investing actually work? I love this stuff, guys. I'm gonna take you guys off of the main screen one sec before I answer this one. That was kind of funny. So look, when it comes to investing in these products, guys, you have to think to yourself, what is going to happen in the future? What do I realistically see happening? Before you check out on that green V or that Lugia V from Silver Tempest PSA 10, do you really believe in your heart of hearts that you're buying this as a collectible or as an asset or investment to go up? Or is it both, guys? It's kind of a collection with a bit of investment upside. As I said, Umbreon VMAX will probably tick up. A good rule of thumb is to buy fan favorite Pokemon with great artworks, and they will generally do well long term, especially the alternate art cards. And I would avoid things that are getting obviously pumped up right now, like illustration rares. I would be avoiding some of those that have already got sky high prices. Specifically for alt arts, though, guys, I want to ask you a question, and I'm going to be a bit of a pill here. Okay, what do you guys think is going to increase first? Okay, is it going to be an Evolving Skies booster box, which is somewhere around $1,200 right now, $1,300, or a Moonbryon in a PSA 10? So are we going to see $3,000 Evolving Skies booster boxes, or are we going to see an Umbreon VMAX PSA 10 at $6,000 first? Which one do you guys really believe in your heart of hearts? I know what I believe. Is Giratina going to double before a Lost Origin booster box doubles? These booster boxes are starting to trend sideways a little bit. People are starting to kind of ease off because the hype is on other things right now. I would be looking at the booster boxes if your goal is just to make money on this stuff, guys. If you just want to set it, forget it, and you don't want to go down the route of investing your time and your money into the graded plays, then I would be just looking at booster boxes. So I hope that you guys found this information helpful. I really did. We're a tax return coming up. It's a good time to buy. It's still a good time to invest in some things, but just do your analysis, do your due diligence, get into the numbers, see what's really happening with these cards. If you haven't already subscribed, my lawyer will come to find you. Until next time, my friends, take it easy.